John Harbaugh spoke to the media for the first time since the Baltimore Ravens 2025 season basically ended last night in the hands of Drake May and the New England Patriots. He gave a major update on Lamar Jackson and his injury status going forward. And then, at the end of today's show, we're just going to give additional notes from the presser. He talks Derrick Henry usage. He talks his job security. Zay Flowers fumbling. He covers a lot. Okay, we're going to cover it for you right here on the Ravens Rundown. So if you missed it last night, Lamar Jackson exited the game in the second quarter, took a knee to the back, and was in excruciating pain. You saw him walk to the locker room. You saw him on the sideline. You saw him everywhere grimacing, pretty much every single movement. In fact, Jeff Zreback spoke to him after the game, said that he'd have a CT scan tomorrow. Was in too much pain to continue. They actually gave him a total pain shot, tried to throw the ball, but it was not happening. So they did what a lot of us assumed they were going to do, shoot him up, see if they can give him something to numb the pain so that way he can go out there and finish this game. But that did not work enough. Jeff Zreback said after talking to him, he was in visible pain. He was leaning on the lockers as he spoke, struggled to get dressed, grunting and grimacing the whole time. And I feel like initially, after we got that report, and we talked about it this morning actually, it did not sound too positive. Like if I were a betting man after last night's updates, I would have said, okay, I bet a lot of money that Lamar Jackson probably does not suit up in Week 17 and might not even suit up the rest of the year, depending on that result. Well, John Harbaugh very quickly got asked about Lamar's injury status, and he said, quote, "It doesn't look like it's more than that," talking about it's a back contusion. But obviously, those are painful, tough. There's no kind of issues beyond that, a good significant contusion, which is obviously a serious deal. And, I think that this is good news for Baltimore. I was nervous that it was something to do with the ribs, right? Anytime you get hit like that hard in full speed, I was just hopeful that something didn't crack. And when you think about the quarterback position, think about how much torque goes into that, right? Lamar Jackson's right hand. He throws a football. Every single throw, you are twisting that back. And he got hurt right here in the lower back. That's a brutal spot to get hurt. I was worried there was going to be rib damage. I was going to be worried there's going to be bone damage. But the fact that it's just a contusion, I think, is decently good news. Now, doesn't mean it's great news. Harbaugh said that he doesn't want to minimize the severity and the pain level of that because it's legit and that's where it stands. And for the Packers game on Saturday, Lamar Jackson is considered day to day. Look, all you can do at this point is try to win football games. All you got to do is throw out the best players who are healthy and go throw out your best effort. And then hope and pray that the Cleveland Browns do the same thing and somehow, by God's grace, knock off the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Green Bay will be far easier to beat with Lamar Jackson than without him. That doesn't mean I don't have any sort of hope in Snoop Huntley because, if you don't know, Jordan Love is dealing with a concussion. There's a chance he's not playing in that game. It might be the battle of the backups, which, if that's the case, absolute throw up. Regardless, if it is the battle of the backups, I trust Snoop Huntley, and even if it's not, we already saw him take down an NFC North team. Okay, so, yeah, things look grim. Not going to lie to you. I'm going to shoot straight like we always do. Speaking of that game, though, we're going to be live no matter what. No matter what the record is, no matter how the outlook is, we're going to be live right here on the channel. Make sure you subscribe, join us, and turn on those notifications. That way, when we do go live, you can come and hang out with us. Alrighty, additional takeaways. I got 5 of them. Number 1. I think the one we all most want to talk about is Derrick Henry, okay? We discussed this a little bit this morning. We're probably going to go into deeper detail on it tomorrow, and that was a very quick question. It pretty much went Lamar injury, Derrick Henry. If you don't know what I'm talking about, okay, let me paint the picture for you. The Baltimore Ravens are up 3. New England just scored to cut the lead to 3. The Ravens need to drive. They scored a touchdown, pretty much game's over. Not enough time left for New England. They need to drive the length of the field to do so. Derrick Henry's on the sideline. After starting the game, 7.1 yards a carry, 128 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's on the sideline. So obviously everybody's upset. Everybody wants the answers. John Harbaugh, he said that actually Derrick Henry and Willie Taggart, the Ravens running back coach, had a conversation between the last series. They decided Keaton Mitchell should go out. Idea was Henry would go in after a few plays. Rotation includes a 2-to-1 carry distribution between Henry and Mitchell. Yeah, that's all great, but you're the head coach. You can still override that decision in the biggest drive of your season so far. John Harbaugh went on to say. Looking back on it, I'd have grabbed it, and I said, no, I'm putting Derrick in the game. But that's not really the way it works in real time. It's the guys, the coach, doing the rotation. I don't care. John Harbaugh, you are paid millions of dollars to make that decision. You know how I know that you should have made that decision? Because me, producer Gage, and everybody else, the 1,000+ that were watching that game with me right here on the channel, you could go back and watch it if you want to. We're saying, why isn't Derrick Henry in the game? If we're noticing it, and we don't get paid a single dime if this team wins football games, why aren't you noticing? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So frustrating. So frustrating. It's a big reason that he got asked a lot about the job security. Because it seems like so often in these type games, he is not making the correct decisions. Okay, that's going to be the additional takeaway number 2, right? He got asked about his future. Well, he said, my focus has always been for the last 18 years to do my best job today. Anything after today, I'm not thinking about. Look, we've been talking about it all day. And there's a reason that we've been talking about it all day, because it needs to be discussed. Now, my gut still tells me, right, I don't think that it happens, unfortunately, him getting fired. I wish it would. I think it should, but I doubt it. Now, the reason is because Steve Bisciotti loves John Harbaugh. Eric DeCosta, Steve Bisciotti, John Harbaugh, I hear on the streets, they all share a king-size bed every single night to go to sleep. They tuck each other in, kiss each other on the forehead, and say, good night, I'll see you in the morning. They're too buddy-buddy. He's been here for so long, man. 17 seasons. Won a Super Bowl. I think they should move on. I would move on. But I just don't think that's going to be the decision that gets made. And I'm just saying that to prep you. All right? I'm just saying that so that way you're not blindsided and completely and utterly pissed off when we get a notification in 2 weeks that's saying the Baltimore Ravens are sticking with John Harbaugh. I think his run has run its course in Baltimore personally. I think his message is lost. It's stale. I think it's done. I think it's cooked. And I think, it's cooked when you got a team that's that talented that does not even make the playoffs. What are the chances that John Harbaugh is fired? Let me know. Scale it 1 to 100 down below in the comment section for me. Weigh in with your answer and give me what you think. Number 3, where's Rashod Bateman? That was the question we were asking last night. And frankly, it wasn't just a last night question. We've been asking that all season long. This was probably my worst take all offseason. If you look back to pretty much any video that I talked about the wide receiver room in the summer of 2025, I said Rashod Bateman has the chance to come in here and be the wide receiver 1 on this team. And boy, did he make me look like an idiot, right? If you look at the last 2 seasons, 18 catches in 2025 to 45 in 24. 217 yards to 756. His average went down. His touchdowns cut down less than a fourth. His longest, almost less than half. Like, he just took a massive regression in every single statistic. And John Harbaugh was asked about it. He said he deserves the ball more. There's no doubt. I disagree. There is a doubt. Because when he's gotten those opportunities, he has not made plays. He just hasn't, man. He drops balls. He lets up on passes that lead to interceptions. He got the big money in the offseason, and he's done nothing since. All right. Enough negativity. I got to talk about some positivity. Something I am positive you are going to love. Each and every single one of you. It's our great friends over at PrizePicks. It is the holiday season, ladies and gentlemen, and that means it's everyone's favorite PrizePicks holiday promotion. It's back. 7 days of Picksmas. PrizePicks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day, including a Christmas Day max discount. Picksmas starts December 20th, so download the app today to unwrap those deals. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you might have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. On PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter your play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. If you want to make the Christmas Day games a little bit more exciting, because let's face it, 4 teams playing on Christmas do not have a shot to make the playoffs. But if you play with our friends on PrizePicks, they can be a little more exciting. I took the more on Dak Prescott, 276.5 passing yards. I took the more on Amon-Ra St. Brown for half a receiving rushing touchdown. And R.J. Harvey, how about this? More on 1.5 rushing receiving touchdowns. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Of course, he had to address Zay's fumbling problem, a problem that we have seen very often come up in the worst situations. And he said, look, you got a talented player like Zay, playmaker. You want to embrace that player. But he also says he didn't have time to talk to him after the game, but will continue to stress the need to hold on to the ball in traffic. I've got a couple of things to talk about there with that. I think number one, I agree when you have a player like Zay, you got to embrace that player, right? Can't come down on him. Not in this day and age, man. These players don't respond like they used to, unfortunately. You got to embrace it. But also, I don't love the fact that our head coach didn't have time to talk to his best wide receiver about fumbling the game. Good or bad. Positive or negative discussion. Yelling or lifting up. You're the head coach of this football team. Your star wide receiver just fumbled to end the season. And you don't find him and talk to that guy? I don't want to be nitpicky on everything John Harbaugh does. That's not what this segment's about. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just find that personally really hard to believe in a pretty big mistake on Harbaugh's end. For Zay Flowers, would you pay him 70 or not 70? God, no. Would you pay him $30 million a year? Because he's supposed to be this team's wide receiver one. That's wide receiver one money. Let me know by giving me a yes or no in the comments. Number 5, Andrew Vorhees, injury update. We're going to rattle this one off pretty quickly. If you did not catch it, he left the game, I believe, second or third quarter, Gage. Third quarter with a foot injury. Emory Jones played the rest of the game. Harbaugh said that Vorhees is day-to-day. Thought his replacement, Emory Jones, played okay. Has a great future. I agree, he has a great future. I think with the state of this football team, just let's cut bait on Andrew Vorhees. He's not going to be on this team in 2026. Emory Jones Jr. is your future at that position. Let's just run with him the rest of the season. There's no harm in getting a guy like that a couple of extra more snaps, reps, game day experiences. No harm at all. Make sure you guys got me followed on socials. That's going to do it for today's show. Twitter, Instagram. I'm about to head home for Christmas. We're going to have some stored up, stashed up videos for you guys. But anything big news breaks, well, we have it covered. Trust me, wherever we are, we'll get you a video. Subscribe to the channel. Don't miss a moment. Appreciate you guys.